It's time for the absolutely... I'm on my way! Completely! I'm almost there! Random! Why are there so many stairs? Podcast! Oh, jeez! With Andrew Rhodes. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the absolutely, completely random podcast for Saturday, January 30th, 2021. Holy crap, we finally made it through January. Wow. 1 down, 11 to go. So, what do I got to talk about this week on the podcast, you ask? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Believe it or not, Megalobox Season 2 finally has a release month. It's going to be April. Spoiler alert. The GameStop stock drama continues. The prices soar, hedge funds are lost, billionaires are crying like toddlers, and one investing app might no longer be existing by the end of the month. Who knows? If you're currently following the trends, you obviously have heard about Resident Evil, right? Well, who the hell hasn't heard of Resident Evil? The game's been out for like how many freaking years now and just keeps getting newer installments. But Resident Evil Village, holy shit. Yeah, this thing's getting some massive news, and I can't wait to talk about it. Speaking of things I can't wait to talk about, Godzilla V Kong trailer has finally dropped, and I'm going to safely say this right now. There is no way in the holiest parts of hell that the king of all monsters is going to lose to an overgrown gorilla. Not happening. And just when you thought it was safe to consider cosplay as a potential business proposition over in Japan, you might want to reconsider if the Japanese government has their way, since they're looking at exploiting new rules and copyright laws for cosplay. Professional cosplay, I should say, but you never know, it might stem down into the lower masses. Who knows? Way up on Mount Palomar, there's a telescope that can see far out into the universe, but even it can't see how much people really give a shit about other people. I learned that from the commish. But anyway, all this and more this week on the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast, but I'm sure you know the song and dance by now. Of course you do. How wouldn't you? ARHOADS 2012 on eBay. I have a wide variety of crap for sale, including trading cards, DVDs, action figures, you pretty much name it. It's a wide variety of crap. The worldwide garage sale where it's safe to pick up pretty much anything. Okay, with the exception, there are rules on eBay. I mean, there's rules everywhere, but there are rules on eBay. But you can pretty much find almost anything on eBay. From toothbrushes to toothpaste to toothpicks to used napkins by Dr. Dre. Hell, William Shatner's toupee was probably up on eBay for all I know. I didn't even know the guy had one. That makes sense, though. But anyway, you can find all that stuff on eBay. And don't forget to check out my small little section of eBay while you're there. ARHOADS 2012 on eBay. You can also follow me over on Twitter at OtakuRhodes. That's at OTAKURHOADS. Over on ye old Twitter. I'm usually on there multiple times a day. I love hanging out on Twitter. It's a lot of fun people. You can also check out the official Web Designer 18 Facebook page. That's the official Web Designer 18 Facebook page. You can check me out on Twitter at OtakuRhodes, my eBay page, ARHOADS 2012. And of course, right here on the good old Web Designer 18 YouTube channel, where you can like, comment, and subscribe for all the great videos that you've come to know and love. 200 some subscribers cannot be wrong, right? Oh, okay, it's 200 some subscribers. It's not 200,000, but it's 200 some subscribers. So, yeah, they can't be wrong, right? 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 Alright, so this is the, how did your week go, Andrew? Well, 2 inventories, so there was that. That was pretty much like the bulk of it. Watched TV the rest of the week, did some job hunting, got some stuff sold on eBay, which honestly made my day, actually my week. We had an interesting little incident, though, yesterday. Half the house had no power and the other half did. My mom's room, the bathroom, my grandfather's old room, and apparently part of my bedroom had no electricity, as well as the microwave. But in the living room. Sorry, I keep forgetting the living room because she didn't tell me the living room. When she texts me in almost a panic, she doesn't tell me the living room. So I keep forgetting the living room. But so it was like 4 to 4.5 rooms that had no electricity. Then all of a sudden it's, oh, well, the dining room, the kitchen, and the basement, they still have power, but the rest of the house has nothing. So we call an electrician. The electrician's like, well, I call the electric company first, see if it's something on their end, and then give us back a call. And that went somewhat well. We called the electric company, though my mom accidentally dialed the wrong number and ended up reporting a power outage, which apparently this actually was. We were actually in a brownout. So as pissed off as I was at the moment because I told her not to call that number and she accidentally called it, it actually worked out, I guess, a little better because it turns out we were in a bit of a brownout. Ironic for freaking winter time. It's 19 degrees outside early in the morning. It's freezing cold. My hand went completely numb because I had to cut away some planting bush that grew back up from freaking hell to get to the electric box, to get to the electric meter to see what it was. Since they have it all digital now, they can just read it right from the freaking street. They don't need to actually go on your property anymore. So I had to cut away some of that, and my hands were freezing cold to the point that I'm like, my hands were not warming up. They were ice cold. My left hand still is a little numb yet today. But there was that little fun incident yesterday. Then today I go to the Dollar Tree because they're calling for snow this weekend, like literally Sunday afternoon, like late Sunday morning, early Sunday afternoon, going straight through Tuesday. And I'm like, oh, goody, snow. Oh, joy. So I'm like, okay, I went to the Dollar Tree, got some, got a little extra food and some other stuff that I needed to pick up, some soap, a couple other things that we were going to need for a little bit. So I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm good. I'm good. I got the basics covered. But that was pretty much my day. I did the Q&A it's ironic. So I did the Q&A Wednesday night. I recorded it. I put it up Thursday. And that worked out really well. I'm like, okay, this is cool. This is perfect. I did the channel update video, which I'm sure a lot of you have watched by now. So I did that one. And I was like, okay, cool. I tried to fix that up Friday because I recorded it Friday morning. And I'm like, okay, cool. This will be like, it's simple. Oh, it's only going to take like 10 minutes for it to like fix up. It'll be perfect. Yeah, no, it was like a 1.95 gig video because the device I recorded it on records shit in high def default, and I keep forgetting that. And I'm like, son of a bitch. So I recorded it, and I'm like, oh my god, it's recorded it in high def. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. And I'm trying to like use my one program to shrink the file down, and I'm like, it's not shrinking it. It made it bigger. It made it larger. And I'm like, oh dear God, once something gig is never gonna upload. Then it dawns on me this morning. I'm like, let me try running it through the program I use for the podcast to fix that one up every week. And lo and behold, that worked. And I'm like, son of a bitch. How did that... It took it from a 1.95 gigabyte file, I shit you not, all the way down to 184 megabytes. And it did not lose any quality. It did not lose any... None of the frame rate dropped. None of the quality was lost. And I was like, son of a bitch. I was just like, oh, but I'm like, well, that's impressive. There was that. But yeah, that's pretty much how my week's gone. One massive event after another. We're looking at snow now this weekend. I got to try to run out and get some gas quick tomorrow for the vehicle just to make sure the tank's nice and full. I couldn't stop today because it was too full on my way home, and I wasn't planning on going back out. It was actually nicely not freezing, but I did have to battle dust earlier in the week, and I'm still reeling from that because our heater was like, gave off this burning smell. And we're like, what the hell is this? So we're trying to figure out what's causing it before we actually have to call somebody. It's like we can give them, hey, this is exactly what it is. Can you come out and help us quick? Because if you call them up with an emergency in the middle of winter, they charge you double. At least some places do, and it's like, okay, we have a problem, and we don't know exactly what it is, but we figured out what it was. The cold air return had a crap ton of dust in it, and when I went to clean it out, I caught a face full of it, And yeah, that wasn't pleasant. I'm still feeling the effects yet. Actually, I have my window open. If you hear cars, I know dead of winter I have my window open, but I have that open to kind of suck a lot of the dust out that came up so I can breathe a little easier. My nose is still a little stuffy, but it works. But yeah, so that's pretty much how my week's gone. But let me know how your weeks went, and while we're at it, let's get into the podcast, shall we? We have a lot to talk about and not a lot of time to do it. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you remember last week I talked about the whole GameStop, the Reddit group. It was called Wall Street Bets. I think I called it Wall Street Beats. There's Wall Street Bets that basically caused GameStop's stock to just soar out of control. And this has caused ripples of problems. Now, you always know that there are two things on this channel I will never talk about, and that's politics and religion. This is borderlining politics now because apparently a lot of hedge funds took a massive hit. And billionaires began crying for bailouts. And they're crying because the poor are getting rich and the rich are getting poor. And there was an app that was sort of responsible for this called Robinhood. And ironic how the app is now facing shit because of their own decisions in the midst of this drama. So here's what kind of happened. GameStop stock started skyrocketing because the Reddit group Wall Street Bets started basically a massive short buy, short sell thing to massively cause the stock to skyrocket. And like I said last week, whenever I hear the word stock and the word, criminal, I instantly think of the word insider trading. And I still stand by that because you don't know if even one person in that Reddit group that knows somebody that is directly associated with GameStop, then it's insider trading. Just off of that, right there. But as far as this goes, look, a lot of people are taking this the wrong way. They're going, oh, well, the poor are getting rich and the rich are getting poor, and it was upsetting billionaires because they were losing money. And I'm not against anybody ever making money. I'm honestly not. There are stories about, I think it was a high schooler my mom was telling me about that invested $50 and managed to make a shit ton of cash. And there are people that they're getting life-changing money because of this. And here's the news flash. This is sort of how the stock market works, where you can either win big or lose your ass. There's no middle ground. If you break even, that's what you call you played, you learned, you won, you just tied. There's no winning or losing. No, you tied. You broke even. Walk away with the experience you have and stay the hell out of it. But as far as this is concerned, there's like a lot of people getting rich. And of course, the billionaires are getting pissed because the hedge funds took a massive nosedive. They took a massive hit and they are demanding bailouts. They want the SEC to investigate all this stuff. Robinhood, the app, had to stop. Well, it was of their own volition too. They stopped the trading of GameStop, AMC, and a couple other stocks, and they took a massive, huge sort of hit for that. Because now people are stopping using their app, and it's like, why are they not using our app anymore? Well, because they figure, why should we use an app that's going to tell us that we can't up and invest in this stock, or this stock when that's what we want to invest in, because that's what's making money right now. And you have the day traders that are making money, but people are just getting pissed off and more pissed off. Now, GameStop stock, though, at some point this week did sort of level off, but the article I have came from earlier in the week, so please bear with me. I'm doing everything I can to keep up with this breaking news as it's coming out. But GameStop stock prices continued to soar in after-hours trading to over $300 a share. Now, I know it dropped down to like under $200, I think, a share, and I think it went back up a little bit, so I don't know where it's at now off the top of my head, and I'm too lazy to look. But basically, it gets kind of hilarious. But while many are waiting for it to come crashing back down, which, what goes up must come down at some point, it might be too late for some major hedge funds, and those are the ones that are crying foul. Oh, god damn it. Somebody's calling me. Hold on. I gotta take this. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. It was my mom calling me. She lost power in her room again, so that problem's back. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, GameStop. Sorry about that. Where was I? GameStop. That's right. So where was I? Oh yeah. So they're basically waiting for like the hedge funds to come crashing back down. The hedge funds are complaining that they were losing money. All hell's breaking loose. It was unthinkable just last year though that GameStop was trading at under $5 a share. It was true because I remember making the comment, "Oh great, GameStop stock is so cheap, I could actually buy it now," and only to find out, "Oh no, it's not cheap anymore. Now it's massively freaking expensive." And yeah, this is huge. Uh, but there was like a whole bunch of stuff on here. There was a firm that was worth like $12.5 billion before the battle between the short sellers and the redditors began. They bet big against GameStop and a number of other companies, only to see 30% of the fund disappear over the last few days, and they're pissed. This is prompting other billionaires to swoop in and lend the company $2.75 billion to help cover the losses. Because, God forbid, we up and don't have, oh no, we don't have money anymore. We lost 30% of our $12.5 billion to a bunch of poor people that invested, their life savings on a long shot. It's like going to a fucking racetrack. I know Charlie over at Penguin Z0. He did an entire video on this. He was like, he didn't understand what the main issue is. I don't even really understand this. They haven't closed their position though. The Melvin Capital have not closed their positions. A user posted in one of today's most upvoted threads on the Wall Street Bets subreddit. The volume is too low for it to be even possible. The short interest has not changed. The forum has been in full of comments like this as Reddit trades try to rally one another to drive GameStop's stock prices even higher, rather than cashing it out. As of the writing of the article, which God knows when it was, GameStop stock, according to the little image they had here, was $348.64 a share. So that's kind of freaking huge. Like I said, I don't remember when this article came out, so. And it was earlier in the week, but there's like that. But there was other companies like BlackBerry and AMC that were also seeing smaller but still dramatic stock climbs as Reddit traders attempt to boost other companies massively shorted by the big hedge funds. All of this is the accumulation of a long game that has been brewing on the Wall Street Bets subreddit for a while now, basically, as amateur day traders decided to turn the misfortune of a floundering brick-and-mortar game seller into their cause celebre for dunking on professional investment firms. In English, it's basically they're stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, and they're doing it legally. At least as far as I can see legally, though, like I've said before, I smell insider trading. But yeah, you can read the whole thing in here. I'm not going to go like massively into this because honestly, so much has happened since this. Their absurd surge, though, has caught the attention of a lot of high-up political officials that are now being asked to administer this, to look into this, to get the SEC involved in this, to step in and put an end to this, and so on and so forth. So this is probably going to be the last time I'm going to talk about the GameStop thing, since it's now going to be delving into political crap, and I'm not doing political stuff. So yeah, it's just one of those massive things. I mean, I don't know what exactly is supposed to happen, but yeah, it happens. I don't know what to say. But still, you never know until you try. But, I mean, I'm finding it hilarious that they're making money, that the poor people are actually making money. But, of course, people are upset that the poor are making money. The poor can't make money. They're not supposed to be rich, they're supposed to stay poor. So, yeah, okay, whatever floats their boat, I guess. But as far as I'm concerned, look, people are going to make some money off of this. As long as they're doing it legally, that's fine. I know that Robinhood got into a shit ton of trouble because they're like, oh no, we can't have this trading on our site anymore, blah, 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 bitching and complaining. And then all of a sudden they lost like a lot of people that were using their service because, well, now their app wasn't allowing it, and they're like, oh my god, no, this can't happen. No, there's problems here now. And yeah, that sort of happened. So I don't know what exactly is going to happen with this in the future, but it's going to be interesting to watch. I'm not going to lie about that. It is going to be extremely interesting to watch as this continues down the foreseeable future. This is going to be an interesting concept to both watch and sort of admire from a distance, because I'm not getting involved in this. This is going to be one of those, I'll sit on the fence and watch as the children try to kill one another in the field of the corn here. Yeah, this is going to be a good one, folks. I can almost guarantee it. Alright, so I've seen Megalobox. I'm going to say this, it's actually really, really good. I was not expecting it to be what I saw it as. This thing, honest to God, was amazing. The animation in it was beautiful. The art style was lovely. The story was the story was great. It really was. Well, for those of you that are interested, Megalobox 2 Nomad is going to be dropping in April. This is going to be like the second season of this. And oh man, this is really cool. So this is the futuristic take on Ashita no Joe, or I think it was Gearless Joe. Has landed a second season called Megalobox 2 Nomad. It's set to punch up in the face starting this April. Like the first season that aired back in 2018, it's going to be directed by Yo Moriyama and will be written by Katsuhiko Manabe and Kensaku Kojima. Sorry, my apologies. The main cast is also going to be returning. But here's how TMS is describing the sequel series. So in the end, Gearless Joe was the one that reigned as the champion of Megalonia, a first ever Megalobox tournament. Fans everywhere were mesmerized by the meteoric rise of Joe, who sprung out from the deepest underground ring to the top in a mere 3 months, and without the use of gear. 7 years later, though, Gearless Joe was once again fighting in underground matches, adorned with scars and once again donning his gear, but now known only as Nomad. So that's kind of interesting. And they do have a picture, like there's a little trailer on here, the thumbnail. Yeah, that's definitely holy shit, what the hell happened moment here. But yeah, I liked the first season of Megalobox. I thought that was really cool. So Megalobox Season 2 definitely is going to be one of those that I would really be up for seeing, especially given how well done Megalobox was in the first place. Now, with Megalobox, the best way I can describe it if you haven't seen it, just like picture Real Steel meets Rocky. Whereas instead of having, oh, you're controlling the robot, you're fighting one with the robot. So, yeah, basically think Real Steel, but in anime form and without the robot aspect of it. But that's basically what it is. Honestly, the story wasn't bad. It was definitely an underdog, rise to fame story. I thought it was really cool. Granted, I watched it. It was via Tubi, if I remember right, watching it. And I was like, holy crap, I was just blown away. It just sucked me in. I'm like, I want to know what happens next. I mean, you had the manager that lost an eye in a gambling bet to try to get Joe a better deal. Then he did it again to save Joe from having to take a massive dive. They had to sneak into the city. The person that he was fighting was one of these, like the high mighty champion was one of these people that, oh, the main reason why I'm basically doing this is because of insert reason freaking here. And it's like, oh, that's why you're doing this. And it made no freaking sense whatsoever. And I'm like, okay. But then he up and tried to level the playing field because Joe never fought with gear. So because his gear was literally fused with him as part of the new generation of gear, he had it physically removed so that he could be on equal terms with him. And it's like, holy shit. And Joe still came out on top. So that tells you something. Because with the gear, he basically whooped Joe's ass. Wholeheartedly. He just beat Joe to the freaking ground and back again. Joe never had a chance. But without the gear, him and Joe had a pretty good fight. And it was a decent watch nonetheless. He became the champion and everybody was happy. It honestly was a good show. I did like it. The first season was really good. And I have high hopes for the second season. So hopefully, and I do mean hopefully, the second season will premiere with a lot of fanfare, love, and attention. And everything will work out really well. Hopefully it's just as good as the original, and, can't really say if it isn't, but I'm looking forward to it. I really am. This sounds pretty interesting. Alright, so obviously everybody out there has heard about Resident Evil, right? I'm sure you have. It's a popular game franchise, hugely popular, massive success. Don't think it's ever really had a bad title. Well, apparently, I guess a new demo was out. And if you've been playing Resident Evil Village's demo, you've obviously come across a very big gothic vampire mom when she busted through the door. You can't hide from me, so yeah, basically. I have seen people going to town on Twitter. Markiplier did an entire video where he was basically swooning all over her. Holy crap, there are people that have just been going nuts left and right over this new character. I will admit, okay, if you're into like the vampire gothic type character, yeah, she's kind of attractive, but not my personal type though, sadly. She's like 8 feet tall too, so that's kind of a deal breaker for me. I mean, I'm 6 foot, but I'd like to not be with somebody that's taller than me. But obviously though, you have to realize that Ateku USA was gonna try to take some hype train on this. So it's like, so we see you're into really tall women. Of course they are. So that's how it goes. Okay, so they're going to give you like some ideas on really big and tall anime ladies. A couple of them are kind of evil, though. One of them's actually a vampire, but they don't know, though, if they'll hold you over till the game actually comes out, but it's something. So they got, they have a lot here, and I've, like, never heard of some of these. But you have Kiss Shot, Acerola, Orion Heart Underblade. Never heard of this character. It's a big vampire mom. You got a big vampire mom right there then. But the difference is, though, this one's from the Monogatari series. I've never heard of that. So, yeah. Yeah, I've never heard of that one. But there's one. You have Balalaika. Or Balalaika. From Black Lagoon, which I have seen clips of Black Lagoon. I've never actually fully been into Black Lagoon, so there is that little scenario issue. But otherwise, yeah, it's not bad. But you have this character too. The Russian mafia boss with a scarred face and a checkered past, fish out of water. Yeah, all that fun stuff. Then you have Boa Hancock from One Piece. Well, she's not exactly evil-ish. She's, I want to say misguided, but with her past, you could understand why. Her and her two sisters were taken into slavery by the Celestial Dragons. They were branded by the same Celestial Dragons, saved by Fisher Tiger of the Fishmen, and she became the Queen of Amazon Lily, and does her damnedest to protect her and her sister's secret. Even Luffy went as far as to protect their secret when he was battling them shortly after being sent to Amazon Lily by Bartholomew Kuma. So, yeah, I've watched One Piece. And keep in mind, because she fell in love with Luffy, and because Luffy won over all the hearts of Amazon Lily, at least for the foreseeable future, if not forever, he's going to be the only pirate to ever, the only male pirate that will ever be able to set foot on Amazon Lily will be Monkey D. Luffy, because of the fact that he is basically, he won over the island, and Hancock's in freaking head over heels love with his ass. But of course, she could turn people to stone, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. You got Merlin from Seven Deadly Sins, which the funny part is I've seen parts of Seven Deadly Sins. I know it exists. I've seen like a couple clips from it. Have I sat down and physically watched an episode from start to finish? No. So when I hear the words Merlin, I'm thinking old wizard, lives in a tower, basically kept screwing around with King Arthur, or with Arthur, who then became king. That's, every time you say Merlin to me, that's the first name that's the first image that pops into my head. If you're thinking, okay, like video game characters, I know there was like a Merlin one that was in a video game years ago. I don't remember which one, but it was like a hack. They were like a hacker or something. But this one's apparently a very legendary mage with cheat level magic for centuries now. But in Seven Deadly Sins, she's also a tall, gorgeous, big sister type. Yeah, she basically does not cover up at all. Uh, like I said, I haven't actually watched Seven Deadly Sins. I've heard of it. I know that there is a mobile app for it that I wanted to play. It's called Grand Cross, but my new tablet isn't compatible with it. So, of course, my old one was, but not the one that I got back in June. That one's not compatible. And of course, rounding out the list here is from My Hero Academia, who we saw in episode freaking 1, mind you, Mount Lady. And what the hell is Mount Lady? Oh, she can grow up to 67 feet tall. Yeah, she can grow really tall. Because if you remember right, she showed up at the first episode. She was there to save the day after I forget what the hell his name was, the Wood Hero. After he really kind of let the ball drop a bit, she kind of saved the day. But then going up against the slime monster in episode 2, she was stopped by a one-lane road. Her one weakness. She needs a two-lane road in order to really use her powers. Yeah, because she grows to 67 feet tall. Sure, if you have a height fetish, that's pretty much your winner right there. Hands down. She can pretty much beat the freaking vampire mom from Resident Evil Village's demo to shame. She can grow almost, you know, hell, she can grow 8 times the size of her, for God's sake. Even more. So, yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, you can always, turn to her. She is a little on the weird side. I know Mineta in the series wanted to um, apprentice under her, but then again, that little creep wants to apprentice under anything female. Let's go that route, little creepy pervert that Mineta is. So there is that. But if that's not enough, there's probably plenty more, in the whole thing. But Resident Evil Village is set to hit later this year, so you can get your fill of, oh god, she actually has a name. It's Lady Dimitriescu, or Trescu. Dimitri Trescu? Huh. Before too much longer. So you just have to wait later in the year. She'll release, and then you can have your fill of her. Then again, there's also so many images, and you can probably watch the demo over and over and over again. I'm not gonna lie, when I look at her picture, she actually just kind of reminds me. I'm gonna say this, and I'm probably gonna get bitch slapped for it at some point. She reminds me of my one coworker. She really does, in a way. Just the smile and the look in her eye, it's like, yeah, she kind of reminds me of like my one coworker in a way. So, that's that's an interesting, yeah, that's boy, that's not, okay, that's interesting, I guess. All right, so this is one that's definitely going to be going into the I'd like to see where this goes from a standpoint of on the fence sort of deal. So, the Japanese government is looking at cosplay rules and copyright laws. This is actually something that I want to say kind of disturbs me just a wee bit more than it should, and I don't know why. But professional cosplayers, though, in Japan might soon see the laws change that involve their line of work. And there are professionals out there. They get paid for this, which is exactly where this is exactly gearing towards. So the rules would allow copyright holders to regulate cosplayers for income earned from cosplay activities. Basically, they're going to have to pay a licensing fee, or they're going to have to pay for the right to use said character. So basically like any other advertising would be. But so far, nothing, though, has been decided. Apparently, the Japanese House of Counselors, Taro Yamada made the point that they're looking at the issue from both the perspective of the copyright holder and the cosplayers. Japanese people who cosplay for fun and don't earn an income would not be impacted if legislation changes. So basically, if you just go, let's say, I want to go to a comic convention. I live in Japan. I want to go to, let's say, I'll just throw. I'll just make one up here at random. Let's go JumpCon 2022 or JumpCon 22, and you want to go as one of your favorite Shonen Jump characters. Let's go with All Might from My Hero Academia, and you're not getting a single dime for doing this. You're fine. This isn't going to impact you. But the ones that get paid, it's going to impact. And yeah, I kind of feel like they should have to pay something, but at the same time, their publicity for said series. So wouldn't they already be getting something in a way from the original creators to utilize, and to spread the word of the character? At least that's how I would feel. But famous cosplayer Inako also weighed in on this with a series of tweets. I think there are some misunderstandings on the information being spread out there about the changes to cosplay copyright. But this article is easy to understand. I had a discussion with Minister Inoue, and we're searching for a way to protect copyright without interfering with current cosplay culture. That's one tweet. The next tweet. Also, I haven't heard anything about the ban on cosplay photos being posted to social media, as was written in another article, so I'm anxious to find the truth. I'm not really in a position to easily give a statement on the issue, but personally I hope that the changes will not regulate social media posts and fan-made activities if they are not for profit. She also added, and I quote, "By the way, I've said it many times before, but when I'm on TV, at events, or anything else for profit, I take copyright into consideration and do not cosplay characters from published works, but go out in my own original outfits instead. Whenever I cosplay characters from published works, I do so after obtaining permission from the publisher. Because you're doing it professionally." That was the end of the quote, by the way. But you're doing this professionally. And with the professional cosplayers, you figure they had to have been approached to do this. It's not like they woke up one morning, knew that there was an event coming, fixed up a costume, made themselves look super convincing, and then went there for the hell of it, got paid, and went home. They obviously got, picked out specifically for this. Like, hey, you're a really popular cosplayer. Would you be willing to cosplay, let's say, Mai Shiranai from, the Tekken series? Would you be, or what was it, Street Fighter, or, no, it's Virtual Fighter, either way. Well, Mai Shiranai, basically. Would you be willing to, I think it's Street Fighter, I think. Yeah, it was Street Fighter. I don't even remember anymore. I think it was Street Fighter. Yeah, because you get in by, yeah, it was Street Fighter. So, yeah, you could easily go with her. And it's like, okay, so their cosplay is her. Well, of course, now the people that would reach out to this would obviously be the ones in charge of said marketing department. So they're paying for the right to use the character. It's their character. They're paying them to do it professionally, to appear at this event as this character. So of course, they're gonna have to pay them. And they can easily go, okay, well, here you go, and they come out to an agreement that settles for both of them. So somewhere along the line here, they would have figured out enough money to go, hey, we really need you to go as this character, but we can't afford to pay for the license if it's not ours. Or they reached out with a third party, but the third party would still have to, not, charge them, not give the money out for the license and hold on to that as, okay, look here. They got the event, this is the money that we got, this is your cut for the license and the copyright, and this is their cut for doing the event. Because, there are a thing called taxes and other fees that would probably be associated with this. So, that's the part that I'm not getting. Then the whole, I did read at the article that she had mentioned, by the way, about posting it to social media. Apparently there was a part in the article saying that, should the law be passed, posting cosplay photos to social media like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook would be forbidden, because you would be then showing off copyrighted work, and they would not be able to regulate that. So at the end of the day, I'm just kind of like scratching my head like, what the hell? So they basically want you to, and I quote, um, cosplay the character, but you have to cosplay it via our rules. And our rules say that, oh, if you want to cosplay this character, you have to pay us money for us to give you the right to do it. So then, does that mean whatever they make at said event then is theirs to keep, and it's like you just got your money, your one-time cut, or do they have to give you a cut of that as well? Because that'll put a, no offense, if they would only get, like, let's say, and I'm going to use American dollars here as a figurine because I don't know what the Japanese yen conversion rate is. Let's say that if you're a cosplayer and you get paid, let's say, I'm going to be really, really generous here because you figure this would be a high-end event. You would be there for the whole duration of said event. So let's go with a 3-day event. You need to be there for all 3 days, 3 different characters, but you're getting the same rate for all 3 characters. Let's say, like I said, I'm going to be very, very generous. Let's say $30 a pop per day. You get $30 like per hour at said event because they know they're going to make a shit ton of money. And you have to go around, promote the character. You can't do anything stupid as the character that would sully the image of the character or the company themselves. You're basically their employee temporarily for said duration of the event. This isn't a, oh, well, I'm only their employee for a couple hours. No, you're their employee for said duration of the event. This isn't an open for discussion sort of deal here. This is a, oh, I'm their employee now. At least for the time being, I'm their employee. I have no choice. Yeah, you kind of don't have a choice in the matter. The problem is whether or not you're the employee or you're, basically doing this for profit and screwing them at the same time. But since they're paying you to be there, they would be I swear they would be getting a cut of this. Somewhere along the line, they're getting something for this, either in brand recognition, advertising, or something. So you figure let's even say, for the most part here, let's just say like an amateur one that's just started out doing professional cosplay. And they go to an event. And this company like, hey, we're going to take this massive chance on you. You're really good. We've never heard of you before, but from what we've seen, you're really good. They have this person cosplay as a character. That character goes out there. Now, they say you don't have to pay us for this. There's no need to pay us a royalty fee to use the character. You're just going to use the character, go for it, have fun the whole day. And they make a shit ton of money off of said character. So, somewhere along the line, they are screwing you over now because they'll go, oh, we want our money. Or it could just be, well, look, we made a crap ton of money from, you being there promoting our character. Our game's taking off so much that we're making money hand over fist. Would you really give a rat's ass about, let's say, $100 if you're making $15,000? Well, let's see. We could charge you $100 for a copyright, fee, or we could waive that if, say, this gets, or we could refund you said fee if this gets up to that. They would probably be down for that, and there wouldn't be an issue here. I would go with that route. Like, hey, look, you're promoting our character. Let's say it gets up to $150,000 that the character that you bring in to our company because of this event. We'll waive the fee then. We'll refund you the $100 deposit that you made for the copyright fee if we reach X amount of money. If not, then that money's ours. It compensates our loss of not making our profit, but you still got the event, and whatever you got paid, you get to keep. How is that not a possibility that's on the table? How is that not even something that was considered before all this stuff happened? But no, I don't know what's going to happen with this, but this is an interesting one to see on the back burner because professional cosplayers make a shit ton of money. And it is a niche market. It's mostly over in Japan, but there are professional cosplayers. They make a crap ton of cash. So you figure it doesn't even have to be for conventions. A lot of them, especially during the pandemic, there was some making money by going to events for like, hey, be safe and all this, doing like TV spots and encouraging people to stay safe at home. They were going to those and getting paid to be a character on those. So it's one of those, you don't know what's going to happen till it happens. But I'm kind of interested to see what happens with this. I really am, because something about this isn't adding up. And something smells a little fishy, but I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. I really am. Alright, so the trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong has officially dropped. Things are going to go smash, and I would like to say once again that I do not see the king of all monsters getting its ass kicked by an overgrown gorilla. I'm dead freaking serious here. I do not see this bullshit happening. So Godzilla vs. Kong, the long-awaited film pitting the two legendary monsters against each other, is finally stomping its way to the screens. And the trailer is there to prove it. Legends collide in Godzilla vs. Kong as these mythic adversaries meet in a spectacular battle for the ages. With the fate of the world hanging in the balance, Kong and his protectors undertake a perilous journey to find his true home, and with them is Jaya, a young orphan girl with whom he has formed a unique and powerful bond. Yes, they melded. Mind melding like the Vulcans, I guess. I don't fucking know. But they unexpectedly find themselves in the path of the enraged Godzilla, cutting a swath of destruction across the globe. The epic clash between the two titans is instigated by unseen forces, is only the beginning of the mystery that lies deep within the core of the earth. Apparently it's going to be on HBO Max for 31 days starting March 26th. But if you can't wait, though, until Criterion has the 1962 King Kong vs. Godzilla, if you really want to watch that. And I remember somebody brought that up in the Twitter thing. Somebody had up, wait, you mean to tell me that there are people out there that think that Godzilla is going to lose to King Kong? And I commented, yeah, the king of all monsters going down to an overgrown gorilla. And a person replied back, oh, well, he did in 62. Yeah, but that was an unsanctioned fight. That would be like a 5-year-old knocking out the heavyweight champion of the world in the middle of a street. And here's my question. Would that 5-year-old now be the heavyweight champion of the world? No, because it wasn't a fucking sanctioned fight. It wasn't in a goddamn arena. No, it wouldn't be a sanctioned fight. It was just freaking street brawl. A freaking automobile can knock out the heavyweight champion. That automobile is now not the heavyweight champion of the world. So, yeah, no, this is bullshit. And I'm just going to say this. This had better be a shit ton better than that really crappy 2014 Godzilla movie. Because I swear to God, that piece of garbage royally can rot in hell. For a majority of reasons. It can just rot right in the bowels of hell. So, what exactly is my beef with this going into this? First off, it's God fucking Zilla. Why is it all of a sudden Godzilla is traversing the Earth? I thought Godzilla mainly stuck over towards Japan. 2014's movie with Bryan Cranston, he was traveling all over the Earth. Why? Why? What purpose? The monsters come to him. Well, is he here or is she anymore? Because I know there was Son of Godzilla, so I really don't know. But the monsters come to Godzilla. They don't go... Godzilla doesn't go to the monsters. For starters. 1. 2. If King Kong's going to look at Godzilla like, I'm your next opponent, Godzilla should just stand there. The bodies of Mothra, Rodan, Mechagodzilla, King Ghidorah, Mecha King Ghidorah. This just be littering the ground and just go... Do you not see the bodies? Are the bodies not a clear indication of how this is going to go? I mean, Godzilla has gone up against Rodan, Mothra, freaking Mechagodzilla 3 fucking times. Has gone up against King Ghidorah. What was it? Megalodon? There's a massive amount. The 1998 shitty Godzilla that was bought back by Toei just to be destroyed by the good Godzilla in Godzilla 2000. He's gone up against Space Godzilla. You tell me how in the holiest parts of hell that the king of all monsters, the ass-whooping, undeniable champion of the world, is going to go down to a goddamn overgrown gorilla. It's not going to beep and happen in this or any other fucking world. I do not see Godzilla getting its ass whooped by King Kong. But of course, this is probably going to be one of those movies where they'll work together at the end, and it'll be a buddy-buddy type of film where, oh, they worked together at the end, they separated themselves from their differences to work together bullshit that, they're going to do. But you tell me how Godzilla's going to lose to King Kong. It ain't going to fucking happen. The atomic breath, for God's sake. One square blast of that. First off, just litter the ground with debris. Screw Kong over. Even if it jumps, you got it right in the air. He can't maneuver in the air. Blast it with the atomic breath. Game over, folks. Right then and there, game over. King Kong is not going to survive Godzilla's atomic breath. There's no way. Not to mention the freaking screech of death. We've all heard that. Godzilla's massive roar. That thing can shatter windows and buildings. What's the best Kong can do? Climb the Empire State Building. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Can you breathe fire? No. Do you exude radiation? No. Okay. Can you fly? I can jump really far. Oh, okay. Do you have a healing factor of plus 20? No. Okay. Psychic powers. I bonded with a little girl. Okay. Do you have anything that could possibly win you this fight? No, you fucking don't. Rodan got its ass whooped. Mothra got its ass whooped. Mothra's larvae basically got their asses whooped, but that was a draw in Tokyo SOS because their entire purpose was to subdue Godzilla. Mothra actually sacrificed herself, so it was still a win for Godzilla. Rodan was beaten. King Ghidorah was beaten. Space Godzilla was beaten. Mecha Godzilla, basically, the first one it destroyed, if I remember right. The second time in Godzilla against Mecha Godzilla, it was a draw. The third time it was once again a draw. So Mecha Godzilla is like the only real threat you have. There are so many freaking monsters, and you think you're actually going to defeat... You think that Kong's going to defeat Godzilla? In what parallel universe? Like I said, Godzilla should literally just stand there as Kong's just walking up like, I'm your next opponent. And just look at the ground and there's Rodan, Mothra, Ghidorah, all these bodies of all the monsters are just on the ground like, are the bodies not a clear indication of how this is going to go? I'm going to whoop your ass and it's going to be over. Just lay down on the ground and pretend this never happened. No, I don't like how this is going to go. And I really did not like the trailer. For starters, I did see it as a YouTube ad. I hated the trailer. I'm not exactly a fan of how this movie's going, how this is pandering this. And in all honesty, and I want to stress this once again, there is no way in hell Godzilla is going to lose against King Motherfucking Kong. There's no way he's gonna lose. None whatso-bleepin' ever. This is King Kong. The monkey has no powers. It's an overgrown gorilla. Beat its ass with your tail, knock it to the ground, and call it a goddamn day. Do you really want to end this thing with a nail in the coffin? Just hit it with your atomic breath. This had better be better than the last couple Godzilla movies, because that crappy one with Bryan Cranston was a shit show. This had better be so much better than the last few Godzilla movies that'd be like, okay, they were just acting screwy. They had the best writers on this one, and Godzilla's going to come out with the W. Because I swear to God, if this is going to be 2021's version of the 1998 Godzilla, where, oh, yeah, Godzilla just, like, comes out, and now it's a buddy-buddy monster cop film or something. No. No, I'm not down with this. I'm not fucking down with this. If that's how this is going to go, I'm not down with this. That's bullshit. I'm not down with this crap. No. Not happening. But if this is going to be one of those, hey, let's do it this way, I guess we could, but no, I'm not going to be freaking down with this bullshit if this is how this is going to go. That's crap. That's horrid crap. If you mean to tell me that Godzilla's going to fucking lose to King Kong, forget it. That's never going to fucking happen. It'll be a cold day in hell when Godzilla loses to the freaking overgrown gorilla. I'm just saying that. Never going to happen. It happened in 62, but that was an unsanctioned fight. Doesn't count. That was basically a playground scuffle between two overgrown toddlers. Now we're in the big leagues, baby. We're in the big leagues. This shit ain't gonna fly in the big leagues. Alright, everybody, that's going to do it then this week for the Absolutely Completely Random podcast. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and for hanging out here on my channel for the last, I want to say about an hour, give or take. Maybe. I don't know. I lost count because I kind of feel like I'm in a rush here. But, yeah, it's been fun. Had some laughs, killed some time. But, hey, you know what else is cool? Like, comment, subscribe right here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. As I said in my channel update, I don't know if I'm going to be doing a February Q&A video. So if you'd like to submit questions for the next Q&A video, whenever it will be, feel free to. Just don't forget to put parentheses Q&A. I will add it to my list of topics to talk about, so it won't go to waste. And if you're really interested, feel free to check me out, like I said, on Twitter, @OTakeYourRoads, right over on the Web Designer 18 Facebook page, and right here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. Check out some of my past videos, Andrew rants, discussions, former Q&A videos. Look back up your favorite episodes of the podcast, because, it's soon going to be 5 years old in September. Yeah, and if you live in the Northeast, you might have a bit of a snow day the next couple days. So it might not be a bad idea to kind of look back and listen to some of the better episodes of the podcast. It might be interesting. You never know. But until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes. This has been the Absolutely Completely Random podcast, and I am checking out, baby. Catch you later. Bye-bye.